Good day. Today we are going to be working with Dialux. We're going to start with a floor plan and we're going to work all the way up to the final lighting design. First we're going to start in AutoCAD and we're going to create a new file and we're going to design a simple room. First of all, check what sort of units you're using. I'm using millimeters. So we're going to start off with our rectangle tool and we're going to just draw a basic rectangle. I'm going to make this, you can choose how to change your dimensions. Normally you can work with the one at the bottom here, but I prefer to use tab. So I'm going to go 7,000 tab, and then if we scroll out a bit, there we go. You can see the other one is now highlighted. Now I'm going to say 5,000. So this is 7 by 5 meters. Okay, there we go. Now I want to draw some inner rooms. I want to just have a bathroom separate. So I'm going to drag that line. I'm going to take this corner and drag it. Device extension. Now don't click tab, just type in a number. I'm going to type in 2000. And then now I'm going to type in 2500. I'm going to close this. Then we're going to go to offset. Make this 250. Now I want to make the offset outside. Now we have our outer wall. Now I'll make offset 150. I don't know why that didn't work, but it's fine. So I'm going to make this 150. And now you see there's these little lines between them. So we're going to go to trim. I'm just going to clip them with left clicking. And there we have our basic outline. Now we need to actually add doors and windows. And how we're going to do this is we're going to go to layer properties and we're going to create new layers. So we're going to click on here. I'm going to say, let's call this door. Let's make this a nice purple. And then I'm going to create a new one. Create a new one. Window. Now change this blue thing. Now we're going to close that. And we're going to look at our new layers. We have a door layer here. So now we're going to scroll to the side and we're going to build a door. We're going to start by building a nice little rectangle. Once again, we're going to choose the size. It's going to be 70 tab 700. Then we're going to make a new rectangle and we're going to start at this bottom corner. And we're going to make this 50 wide and we're going to make it 250. This is the door out. This will be our object. Now we're going to go to arc. We're going to scroll all the way down to center, start, end. We're going to start here, drag it all the way up until it clicks that point, and then drag it down. Then we can either just draw a new box here, or if you know what you're doing, you can just highlight that, press copy, and drag over this corner. Okay, and now we have our door. Now we want to copy this. Well, why did that not work? Sometimes this is sometimes it can be a bit buggy. So I'm going to highlight all that. Copy this corner. Now I'm going to click cancel. Now I want to have this be an inner. So there's multiple ways we can do this. I find the simplest is just starting a new line, going to extension, and let's make this 100. Since our since our wall is 150, then I'm going to break the line. Then I'm going to go to trim. I'm just going to delete all of these lines. There we go. Now I've got that. Now I need to make a window. So we're going to keep it simple. I'm going to just make one type of window. I'm going to make a nice rectangle. Now make this 1,200 long. Now since the windows are going on the inside, they'll be 250 wide. Now there are also multiple ways to do this. You can do offsets and all these sort of things. I prefer to just create a midline, then go to offset, make this 100. Sorry, not 100. We're going to make this 25. Yes, 25. Oh, there we go. And now I'm going to make this 25. There, and then we've got a basic window. But now we could just drag these over to this part, but that takes time. So we're going to go to the block section, and we're going to finish this external door. I'm going to pick a point. I'm going to pick that point. I'm just going to enter. Okay. And if you go to insert block, you now have an external. So now I'm going to make the internal door. I'm going to pick a point, pick that corner, select. I'm just going to left click and just highlight, drag. Now I'm going to put it okay. You can see we have our internal door now. Now I'm going to clear window. Now, of course, if you're working with different windows, you could make different sizes, but let's enter. And now that we have 3 of our types, we can just erase these. Yeah, sorry, I just press enter. Okay, now let's start adding in our box. We're going to insert our external door. I'm going to insert it at that point. The software can be a bit finicky. So sometimes it'll say move to midpoint, and then you think you're placing it there, but you're placing it at the midpoint. So always be careful with how it looks. I'm going to make this an extension. I zoom in and I go extension. And now let's make this 150. Okay. But now our door's the wrong way. So I'm going to click rotate. I'm going to highlight the entire object. I'm going to right click that point. I'm going to right click. I'm going to left click. And then I'm going to snap it there. There's our door. Now, if we want to add in a window, let's find some places to add in windows. Let's make this, let's maybe make this, what, 3,000 away? Yeah, a window there. Let's add another window, maybe like here. That's 2,500, so let's just say roughly 700. And then we're going to rotate. We're going to highlight. We're going to right. Just going to snap it like that. Let's one more in the bathroom. Okay. So now we're going to make this, let's say, 500. There's our bathroom window. Actually, you know what? Let's get rid of this. My head is for the shower. Let's make this instead of that. It's 2000. I get 2000. Oh no, right in the center. And there is our basic floor plan. We can add furniture if we want. We can draw like cabinets and stuff, but that's so once we've now finished our floor plan, we're going to go and save it. I have mine saved in a file called Dialux floor plans, and this will be our basic example. I'm going to save. I'm going to save that, and then we're going to go all the way up to Dialux, and we're going to click import plan. We're going to go find our one, and we're going to go and open it. So now here's our basic floor plan. We're going to select our units. I'm using millimeters. Now, something important is we need to show our plan in all views. So if we don't do this, when we create our actual building, we won't be able to see our plan, and that makes it harder to draw. So we're going to create our building. We're going to draw a new building. And two. Here. So that is our building now. Now we've got our rooms. I'm going to make this a bathroom. So if I go to spaces and I click here, I can change this from room 1 to bathroom, and I can change this application. So this is not transport, this is general areas inside buildings, restroom, sanitation, and first aid room. And it's not a canteen pantry, it's a bathroom. There we go. So these are all the requirements that it will need. Then we're going to click there. And now you see it's been saved. Now we're going to move on to our second room, which is going to be this corridor, kitchen, bath, bedroom hybrid. So we're going to click there. We're going to close the polygon. Now this is our second room. Let's go to spaces, click that and see. So this will be, I'm just going to call kitchen slash bedroom. Kitchen slash bedroom. We're going to edit this. Yes, it's the same one, my bad. Sanitation. Restrooms. Okay, now that we've assigned all of our rooms, we're going to go to apertures. Make sure you're on story 1 so you can actually insert these. And we're going to go and pick a door first. I'm going to choose this door. And then I can use position but draw new aperture is better for these sort of things. So I'm going to click there. I'm going to line it up. There we go. We have our new door. So now if I go to 3D view, you can see there is a door there. Oh, but that door is going to swing outwards. So what we do instead is we click backspace and we will draw here to there. Now you see the door open outwards. Now we're going to do the same here. We're going to click, we're going to draw a new aperture. Let me just zoom in a bit. We're going to 3D view. Now let's go window. You can choose multiple types. Let's pick this window. I'm going to draw a new aperture. There we go. Now we can choose how high we want it. So I can edit the height here. Like let's say I want it to start, I want it to be 1,200. No, that's meters, my bad. 1.2 meters. And now it's changed to 1.2. I can also change the sill height. I can change it to 1 meter. Yeah. Now I'm going to add a new aperture to there. Here. 1 meter. So I'm going to change the height there. This is 1 meter. This should be 1 meter. And there we have our basic house. Now we've got our house. We're going to need to add some furniture. Here we go, furniture and objects. Select. And we're going to click more objects. So let's go to home furniture first. And you can see we have tables, upholstered furniture, functional unit, chairs, beds. Let's pick bed and apply. I'm going to keep that open so I can just access it a bit later. I'm going to say, I'm just going to drag it. And now what you right click and then press move, and then you see these arrows. You can move them with that. So let's say our bed looks something like that. And now I can also rotate said object. If I rotate, if I go 180 degrees, I go back to move. Okay, let's move this. Okay, the moving can be a bit finicky. Then let's go and add a toilet to our bathroom. rotate this 90 degrees. Then place it right there. And now it just realized this window is probably too big. Since this is in the bathroom, I'm going to go back to apertures. I'm going to make this window 600. Oh, sorry, 0.6 tall. Well, you know what? That's a bit short. Let's make it 0.8. Let's make the sill height 1.4. So now they can't really look in too much. Okay, now I got to floor plan. Now we can choose to put a shower or a bath, whatever. So let's go back to furniture. Let's go objects. Let's go to sanitary. Now you see we have tubs. So let's go and drag this here. Rotate this by move this. So notice I put the tap on that side because it would not make too much sense if it was on this side. So there is a bathroom. This bathroom could have been a bit smaller, I think, but it's fine. So now we're just going to add a sink. So I'm going to go find sink. Just go it. The point of this is not to make something 100% realistic, but to more so give yourself an idea of how light would be affected in this room. So it doesn't have to be like perfect. So the software is not meant for it to be perfect. It's more meant for it to be just it's the software is more to show like how light works. Yeah. So now we're going to just make some kitchen cabinets, something simple. Let's just draw something like this. And then let's select, no, let's select something like this, I guess. And then select T. That the height is 0.75. So I'll make this 0.75. So it's a basic kitchen. Now we can add materials. So now furniture is done. Let's add materials. So we can start looking at, let's first look at the bathroom. And we go to materials. Look at color catalog. The material catalog is the one I normally use. It gives you this sort of thing. So that's the outdoor textures. We go to indoor textures, we can look at furniture, which is mainly wood. We can look at ceiling, window, doors. Let's pick out our floor first. This is a bathroom. Since this is a bathroom, let's make this tiled. Some project is. Let's just drag that over and give it this this thing. Now you can also just go to papers, I have plaster, I even have tiles. Let's just take basic plaster finish. Let's just say apply. You see it appear there, and then you just click apply material. Rotate this then go say ceiling. Let's just take this finished concrete. And then I'll just go underneath. I'll click apply material. There we go. And if I want to go to some colors, I can go and look at some nice colors. Let's say it's like this could be this color. So if you mess up, you can just pick the material and then just click apply. Let's just maybe make a boiler. Then I just say apply material. Now, unfortunately, if you do this like this, you have to apply it to every single polygon, which, as you can imagine, gets really frustrating. I think we will just leave the here we go. There's our bathroom. So now we're going to go to our kitchen bedroom. We're going to start applying materials there. I see it has the same tiled floor. You know what, that's fine. That is fine. We can use that catalog. Make a material. Ceiling. Let's just take the same color ceiling. It did not apply. Going to apply material. I think maybe for these walls, let's maybe pick a nice red-ish color. That seems like a nice idea. Or maybe a bit too bright. Let's go from dull. There we go. Now we'll leave most of our furniture like that. If you do want better furniture, you can always just import it. But I think for the purposes of this is good for now. Now that we've finished our materials and stuff, we're going to go to insert a ceiling. And let's go here, insert a new ceiling, and we're going to make this ceiling thickness. Yeah, that's good. And then we're going to insert a new ceiling into this room. That's good. And there you see we have both ceilings. Cool. We're going to go to the kitchen now. We're going to figure out how we're going to light this up. Now we could use the exact same lights, but let's pick some other ones to practice some more. So we're going to go to Luminaire Finder, Indoor, Ceiling Surface. Once again, while we're looking, I always find 80-20 direct, it's very hard to get your average coverage very high. It leads to you needing a lot of lights. So let's so I got rectangular as well. Let's see what I get. I get these base lights. Yeah, there's a lot of lights, but it's not good. It basically says this ceiling mounted. And let's take this and let's say here maybe. So this is 2300 lumens and it has that sort of thing. Let's go to Dialux. And let's find it here. Now we're going to click there. We're going to click automatic arrangement. So basically it's trying to place. Oh, what do we do there? Let's go back. Okay. So how is this? This is placing them like that. That doesn't look too right. That does not look optimal. And as you can see, we meet our targeted lux, but we didn't meet our uniformity. So we're going to delete, and we're going to draw two arrangements. We're going to draw an arrangement like this. We're going to place one light in there. We're going to like this. Let's give ourselves, now here we can change the number of lights. Let's say 3. And now if I run my calculations, I've only got, so basically the problem is this piece here is where we're not getting proper lighting. So now if I go back here and let's say I rotate it, I put maybe a fourth one. Oh, but you see the actual problem is lux is too high. Yeah, sure, we're supposed to have a targeted illuminance of 100 lux, but okay, this is decent though. Let's compare this and see what happens now. Let me get this 0.38. You see, there's still this big weird corridor. Let's delete this. And let's draw arrangement to the here, and going to rotate it. And we're gonna make this 4. This is gonna be 1. Maybe let's make this 3. And then for another here, here, and then we can just put this. Let's bring our y down to 1, our x down to 3, and let's rotate them. And now let's see what we get here. So we have 0.42 uniformity. Of course, this isn't, this is a bit bright. 300 lumen when we're supposed to have 100. I mean 300 lux when we're supposed to have 100. Let's go back to the luminaire finder and see if we can find something better. Yeah, let's go back and see if we can find something better. Here we go. Let's see what can we find here that's better. Let's look at this bulb. 700 lumen. Let's try this and see how we go. So if I were to place this, let's file this now with 5 of these new ones. So now we have the actual working plane. We have a nice uniformity, but we are under the target lux. So we're going to delete, and we're going to draw this rectangle. Bring this down to 0.1. Oh wait, no, that won't work because they're round. So we're going to bring this to 2 and this to 1. And then we're going to draw this arrangement from here to here. And we're going to make this 1. I'll make this 5, let's say. And now, if I run my calculations, I get 0.61. Okay, and that seems good. Okay, now we shall begin on the bathroom. So I'm going to go here, and I'm going to start on the Luminaire Finder. I'm going to go to Luminaire Finder. No, I already have it open. I'm going to find a light. This. Let's just go around. This one looks good for the most part. I'm going to set this to Dialux. Now, I'm going to add so that gives me that. I'm going to run the calculations, see what I get. So 0.46. I'm looking at the plane and I can see it's not the most uniform, but it's close enough. Cool. Now, if we want to check out the glare, if we want to see some other calculation factors, we can start looking at calculating objects. Now let's calculate at a point, and we're going to put this point right here. So we're going to place a point about there. And now we are going to make this 1.2 meters because that's roughly where a person was. And now we're going to look at what we can calculate. You can calculate if you want to see how much illuminance is hitting at horizontal, vertical. You can look at all these different things, but we're focused on glare. Let's try and calculate how much glare someone would experience at that point. So now I'm going to calculate this. So now we can see that that there's 188 lux on that point, and that the glare is around 78. So that's really good. That pretty much that pretty much is our lighting. That's pretty much we started and now we're finished. If you do want to put together a document, you can first begin with your project. You'll go to your project name. You can we'll put your project, your description of it, your date, address description. You'll put all your company information, and then you'll go to documentation, and then you can choose what you're going to do here. You can choose what you need to include, how, if you want to include like some images, if you want to include like the site plan, we don't need that. So you can do all that fancy stuff. But that about summarizes how we're going to get there. Thank you for your time.